In this video, we're going to walk through a great use case for the Cloudmersive VirusScan connector in Power Automate. We're going to convert DOCX files entering a specific folder to PDF, which is nice and convenient by itself, but we're first going to scan those DOCX files for viruses and malware before we make our conversion. Let's start by clicking Create and setting up an automated flow. Let's skip right to the flow diagram page. The first thing we're going to do is set our flow to trigger when a DOCX file enters our target folder. I'm going to set this up using a OneDrive for Business trigger called when a file is created. I've named my target folder DOCX folder for scanning just to keep things simple in this quick demonstration. Once our trigger folder is configured, we can now set up our Cloudmersive virus scanning step. Let's click Add an Action, and then let's type Cloudmersive into the search bar. If we scroll down the list of Cloudmersive connectors, we'll find the Cloudmersive VirusScan connector at the bottom. The action we're going to use is called Scan a File for Viruses, and we should see that right away. Before we use this action, however, we'll need to configure our Cloudmersive connection if we haven't already. We can authorize our connection with a free Cloudmersive API key, and that'll give us a limit of 800 API calls per month with 0 commitments. We can get our API key by registering a free account on the Cloudmersive website. We can also use this same API key to authorize the document conversion connector action we're going to use directly after this step. After we've created our connection, let's select the Scan a File for Viruses action. This will check our file for more than 17 million virus and malware signatures, and it's actually just the basic version of this API. If we want to use the advanced Cloudmersive virus scan action, which allows us to check for things like macros, scripts, and other content threats in addition to viruses and malware, we can simply upload the virus scan API to Power Automate using an OpenAPI URL specification. I demonstrated this in another video, which you can find on our channel. To configure this basic action in our flow, all we need to do is click on the dynamic content icon, and then find file content from our trigger step. Now we can set up a condition in our flow that converts DOCX files to PDF only if they receive a clean result true response from the VirusScan API. Let's click Add an Action, and then let's search for the condition control. Let's select that when we find it. In our Choose a Value field, let's select dynamic content from our virus scanning step labeled Clean Result. This response will either be a true or false value, so we can type true or false in our second field to trigger subsequent actions based on our condition. I'm going to set mine to true, which means I'll include my document conversion action in the true response. Let's take care of that part now. Let's click Add an Action within the true branch of our condition, and then let's once again search for Cloudmersive connectors. This time, let's scroll down and look for the Cloudmersive document conversion connector. Like I mentioned earlier, we can authorize our connection for this connector using the same free API key we already obtained. Let's now click See More to open up the actions list. And then let's scroll down until we find an action called Convert Word DOCX document to PDF. We could also use a different action that automatically detects a wide range of file formats and then converts them to PDF, but as long as we're only using DOCX files in this folder, this action will run a bit faster. Let's go ahead and select this action now. To configure our request parameters, we can simply grab file content from our trigger step yet again, and then in our second field we can select content labeled file name from our trigger step, though we could also enter any name we want in this field. Now our flow is only going to convert DOCX files to PDFs if they pass a virus and malware scan. To actually create our PDF file, we need to set up one more action underneath our document conversion action within the condition. This will just be a create file action associated with the application we got our file from initially. In my case, that'll be OneDrive for Business yet again, so I'll go ahead and set up an action that generates PDFs with relevant names in a separate folder. Our flow is all finished now, unless we want to take a specific action in the false branch of our condition. I'm going to leave this empty for now, but if you want, you can easily set up a delete file action in here to remove infected files, or you could do something more complicated like quarantining infected files inside of a zip archive. Let's now save and initiate a test, which will of course mean adding one or more new DOCX files to our target folder. After our flow finishes running, we should have a new, clean PDF file in the folder we designated. That's all there is to it. Now we can easily bolster our Power Automate document conversion flows with a bit of extra security. If you have any additional questions, I've included a link in the video description to reach our sales or support teams. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more Power Automate demonstrations like this one.